You're listening to the full-time phone-in here on talkSPORT with me, Darren Bent, and the former England midfielder, Jordan Nobbs. And what a result for the Lionesses. It was a must-win game, and they certainly did that, beating the Netherlands by 4-0 live right here on talkSPORT. It puts qualification from the group back in their own hands ahead of the third game against Wales on Sunday evening. And we'll be hearing from the England manager, Sarina Wiegman, live on this show. And this is your chance to have your say. How much credit does Wiegman deserve for getting the side to bounce back after that defeat to France? And how good is Lauren James? Does she have the potential to be the best in the world? 03717 223344 is the number. This is the full-time phone in here on talkSPORT. Good evening. Honestly, don't know what the fuss is about. Jordan, after the France game, panic stations, everyone going, oh my goodness, they're going to go out. Tonight's performance was what the Lionesses were all about.
Yeah, that's the England team we know and love, and I think they've obviously had a lot of criticism from the last game, and they've just showed exactly why they've been European champions.
Can you believe how flat? I mean, we did the phone-in after the France game, and it was doom and gloom. The performance was flat. There was no real intensity. Did Sarina Wiegman get her team selection wrong? Was the shape wrong? She got everything right tonight, and that was a really, really dominating performance this evening against the Netherlands. Yeah,
it's sometimes a blessing in disguise, losing your first game like that. I think it gave them a realisation of what they're going to face in this tournament. And tonight, you know, you saw the high press, you saw players keeping the ball, winning tackles, and 4-0 as well, which will also be amazing for the score sheet for the end of the tournament.
Someone, again, we spoke about her in the first game against France, and she was probably the England's best player, and we know she only played about 60 minutes, but she was impactful today. Scored 2 goals, Lauren James. The first one was absolutely sensational. Just how good is she, and how good can she be?
Yeah, she's unbelievable. I've played with her at Arsenal and England, and whether it's left foot, right foot strength, she's just one of the world's best. And I do believe she will win the Ballon d'Or one day. I think if she keeps her head down and performs the way she does, she showed today what she did with the Lionesses.
Do you know what? It's quite amazing because we were sitting there watching the game upstairs, and the moment they gave her the ball, you said to me, she'll score now. It's the goal this. And I went, oh, there's about, like, she's got loads to do. Obviously, she cuts in the scores, and obviously, you know her really, really well. You called it early. She's a special, special talent.
Yeah, I've seen her time and time again when you're doing like 5v5 in training, and goal, left foot, right foot. So as soon as she gets in that area and someone doesn't close her down, I'm like, she's going to hit this top bins. And yeah, like you said, as soon as she got in that area, I was like, if you don't get close, that's going in.
Is that one of those things as well? Because we know that she had an injury coming into this tournament. There was a lot of speculation as to would Sarina Wiegman take her. Has she shown already in this tournament, 2 games in, that it was essential? Even if you could only get a 70% Lauren James, she has to be in the squad.
Yeah, you've seen that with Spain taking Bonmati after obviously falling ill, and Lauren James is exactly the same. You need her in your team. She creates something out of nothing, and that's exactly why she's in this team.
Well, listen, we wanted you guys to get involved. 03717 223344. We've got a first caller. Sammy's a Manchester United fan. Sammy, how you doing?
I'm good. Good evening, Dan. Good evening, Jordan. Pleasure speaking to you both.
Talk to me then. I mean, that England performance, that was unbelievable considering what happened against France.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jordan. I think we had to lose that game in the first game to get a reaction. That's what we got. I think Alyssa and Sarina spoke well in the pre-match interview. There was no excuses made. There was one task, and one task I did to beat the Netherlands. So I'm really pleased with her. I'm grateful for Alyssa to get involved. Even if she didn't get a goal, she was involved in a lot of the goals. 3 assists, I think.
Sammy, who do you think was the key players and the key differences in the game tonight?
Alicia's work rate, I think, was very good. I was very impressed with Hemp as well. The defence, Hemp, offensive, and Lauren James, obviously, she was getting involved. So those plays, and I think it was a whole team effort, to be honest with you as well.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Great call there, Sammy. Great call. He made a really good point. And Alessia Russo, we know that she didn't get a goal, but she had one chalked off with a fantastic header. She wasn't offside, of course. I think it was Leah Williamson was offside before. But the work rate she puts in, the assists that she gets, she does all that kind of dirty work that a centre forward has to do. She didn't quite get a reward today, but her performance today was outstanding.
Yeah, and I think you look at the last game, she was so isolated, and today, she had so many more bodies around her, and that's why she's ended up either creating chances for herself. She's obviously set up Ella Toone for one of the goals, and with Alessia Russo, I think people don't appreciate probably how much she holds the ball up and allows players to get up the field and create chances for England. Yeah,
I mean, again, being obviously a fellow centre forward as well, those games there when you run yourself into the ground just thinking, please, just give me an opportunity. And the opportunities were there. She missed a couple in the first half, but again, I know she's not going to get the headlines tomorrow because it's going to be about, Georgia Stanway scored another great goal, Ella Toone, or obviously rightly so, Lauren James. But I think Alessia Russo can be proud, and I think Sarina Wiegman will look at that and go, well, do you know what? That team performance doesn't come together if Alessia Russo doesn't be selfless with the runs and the hold-up play and bringing others into play.
She's also such a humble, lovely person.
Do you know what? Sorry, I thought you were going to say horrible.
Oh, no.
Maybe when you started, she's such a horrible...
No, don't get that word wrong, because she's honestly one of the nicest people you could meet, and I know that she'll be going in that changing room and she'll just be glad that the team have performed well. And yeah, hopefully people notice the things that she does. So
what do you think this England team are going to have to do then? Because we've seen two very, very different performances. We saw the quick start against France, but it didn't last long. France were the better side. Really poor performance in the end by England. And then we saw them come out the traps today really fast, but maintain it over 90 minutes. I know it's 4-0. It almost flatters the Netherlands a little bit because it could have been 5-6. What do England need to do then to progress in this tournament and also maintain that level of performance that we saw tonight against the Netherlands?
Knowing England and how they got criticised in that first game, I think they'll go with similar mentality. They'll be a high-pressing team. I'd be surprised if Sarina changed the team that just performed tonight. I think they've deserved their shirt.
Poor Beth Mead.
Oh, poor Beth. I know. You saw her on the bench and you're just thinking it was just a bad day at the office for everyone against France, and it could have been anyone really that got dropped. But knowing Sarina, I think she'll stick to what she knows now. The girls played well, and hopefully Beth can get on and impact from the bench.
It is harsh because you're right in what you're saying, that Beth Mead, she wasn't the worst against France, but something had to change. I think me and you had a joke about it if you've ever been dragged off at half time, but I think equally as well for Beth Mead, she's been such an important player for England over the years. But when you're the one change that there is, and then the team come in and put in this level of performances, the tough thing for her, even though she's going to have good teammates around her, the manager's fantastic, it's you're not going to play the next game. And that mentally is difficult. So how does Sarina Wiegman make sure that doesn't creep in and everyone does stay on side?
Yeah, I think that's what's tough. I think that's why when you see Ajiman come on, she's not really got that pressure. It's just that game time, that flair. Whereas for players that start and then get dropped, it does add pressure onto you. And, it is all eyes on you of, was it your problem? But I think all them girls know that they'll all play a key part in that tournament.
All right, cool. Well, let's go to the phone lines again. Sean's a Spurs fan. He's called up. Sean, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well. I'd just like to say, guys, I was so impressed with that performance today. I've never really watched ladies football, never been sort of into it, but I watched it today and I really, really enjoyed it. And I followed the men's team all over the place. But that today was so much more enjoyable than watching some of the men's football. It was end-to-end, it was aggressive football, it was talented, absolutely loved it.
Are you now going to be a fellow supporter then, Sean?
I am. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to convert and watch it because, you know, I've always had a bit of a down on it, I won't lie, but you know what? That has changed my opinion because it was very, very entertaining and thoroughly enjoyed watching it, and I'll definitely carry on watching for the rest of us all.
Great stuff there, Sean. Great call. I mean, that's a cool. It's a step in the right direction, as he said there. He said he didn't really watch it before, but he did this evening. And he enjoyed it, but it was just a good game of football, regardless whether it's men or women. The level of football was high. England pressed really, really well. Didn't let the Netherlands settle down. One thing, and me and you kept speaking about it, is while the game was going on, why did the Netherlands continue to try and play out from the back when they couldn't do it?
Yeah, I didn't understand it. Obviously, we were speaking about, and it was like they were just trying over and over and over again. I mean, England are high pressing you. You're playing from the goalkeeper to a square pass to your fullback. I mean, where's she going to go? So I didn't really understand. They didn't really have a change of plan, the Netherlands. You know, like I said, Viv was so isolated, and, you know, they're trying to play out from the back when it just wasn't working.
Absolutely. All right, well, we'll go back to talking about that performance from the Lionesses because they were absolutely outstanding. But following us from 8, you can hear live commentary of Real Madrid against PSG in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. And the winner, of course, plays Chelsea in the final on Sunday. And the teams are in, and Nigel Adelaide has all the details for us. Nigel?
Thanks, Darren. And the big names are back for this game. Kylian Mbappe starts for the first time in the tournament for Real Madrid. Of course, they're without Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was injured in training yesterday, so there will be a tweak to their team with Federico Valverde moving to right back from midfield and maybe a back 4 rather than a back 5. But Mbappe will lead the line, but interestingly, Gonzalo, the youngster who has really charmed the Madrid supporters, he retains his place in the starting lineup. For Paris Saint-Germain, Ousmane Dembele also comes into the starting lineup. 34 goals for him this season, really a Ballon d'Or contender. He comes in for Bradley Barcola, who drops to the bench. The other change for them sees Lucas Beraldo come in for William Pacho, who was suspended following his red card in the quarter-final. Full commentary alongside Dean Ashton on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Nigel. We'll look ahead to this evening's game with Nigel and your co-commentator for this evening, Dean Ashton, in the next half an hour. This is the full-time phone-in with me, Darren Bent, and the former England midfielder Jordan Nobbs, and you can have your say. What did you make of England's performance tonight? 03 717 223344. You're listening to Kickoff here on talkSPORT with me, Darren, and the former England midfielder Jordan Nobbs and Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org. We're taking the calls after the Lionesses absolutely hammered the Netherlands live here on talkSPORT to get to their Euros campaign back on track. 03717 223344. Now, time to get your odds update with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
And to bring us all the latest, we're joined by Cal Gildart. Evening, Cal.
Evening, how are we doing?
We're not too bad. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, really good. I mean, that was emphatic, wasn't it?
That was absolutely incredible. I mean, we're probably going to start with that. I mean, what are the odds now for England to go on and win the whole thing?
It means that England aren't just alive, but right back in the running as far as the odds are concerned. To be fair, before the game, despite the do-or-die feel, they were 8-11 to make the quarter-finals before kick-off. But they were 4-1 second favourites before the tournament and went right out to 8-1 after the France defeat. But our wonderful traders have updated the market, especially for me just now, and England are priced at 11-2 to win the Euros, which makes them the joint second favourites once again.
Wow. And there's, of course, another huge game tonight as Real Madrid face PSG in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup, and that's live here on talkSPORT from 8 p.m. What do the odds you got for that one?
Yeah, well, the European champions are marginal favourites to win the competition at 6-4, and that makes them marginal favourites to win tonight. PSG are 13-10, Real are 15-8, and the draw's 5-2. And whoever wins tonight will be the favourites to win the Club World Cup, because our traders have said to me that both sides would be odds on to beat Chelsea in the final. Personally, despite Real Madrid going about their business quite efficiently since that draw with Al Hilal, I can't see past PSG because they've won like 10 of their past 11 matches. They're 9-1 to win in extra time, which looks decent value, but I'm not sure it goes past 90 minutes. I was trying to do a bit of research for it, there've been at least 3 goals in 5 of the team's past 6 meetings, and it's 2-1 that PSG win a match with over 2.5 goals. For me, though, combine that with old boy Kylian Mbappe scoring any time in a losing effort, and Ladbrokes will give you 7-1 for that bet builder.
Incredible. Cheers, Cal.
Cheers.
Top man. That was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Of course, we'll get back to talking about the Lionesses after their dominating performance this evening against the Netherlands. But Club World Cup, Jordan, who do you make the favourites? I know we've got PSG, incredible, Real Madrid, Chelsea already in the final. Who do you think's going to win it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of, obviously Man City going out, it's been a bit wild, hasn't it? But yeah, I think PSG just have the overall package. I think their pace, power and the way they play, I think they'll be up there. Yeah,
I've got a sneaky suspicion that Chelsea are going to win it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
because they've got that luck of it. Not even so much luck, but they just know how to win trophies. Do you know what I mean? So for whatever reason, I just feel like they might be the dark horses that go on and win this one.
Even after that extra time business with the weather.
Oh yeah. No, I think they will do. But I just think they've got that winning mentality, should I say? But no, listen, that follows us for me. Actually, the Club World Cup, Real Madrid taking on PSG to meet Chelsea in the final, and hopefully we'll be hearing from Ella Toone. Courtney's gonna have Ella Toone for us, so hopefully you hear from that shortly. But she's got a good goal today. I mean, me and you were having a bit of a giggle. I think it was the Lauren James second goal, where she had the goal to aim for, complete colour miss hit it, and then she scored. But what is she like as a player and as a person? And I mean, everyone seems to love her. Yeah,
she's life and soul of the party, Ella Toone, and I mean, she'll probably be watching that left foot shot and laughing about it. That's what she's very light-hearted. I'm glad she got a goal because I think she kind of deserves that England shirt. I think she is constantly performing and scoring goals for England, and that's why I think Sarina put her in for this game.
Well, that's a prime example of someone taking a chance because, as you said, that I thought she was at the heart of everything. They did really well. She had a couple of opportunities to score a goal as well, and I mean, her finish was a good finish, by the way. She managed to get out of her feet, slightly fortunate with the little ricochet. But the finish between the bodies with her weaker foot as well, really nice finish.
Yeah, she's been known for scoring goals, and her technique, obviously, that showed in the goal today. And I think what you need from Ella Toone is probably that legs in midfield as well. I think it's not just the goal scoring, but pushing Lauren James out wide just allows Ella Toone to have the legs and the run around in the middle. All
right, well, let's get some reaction from the England camp. Goal scorer Ella Toone is speaking to talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Yes, goal scorer Ella Toone is with us. A real England performance was mentioned, Ella. Is that what we were all talking about, that type of performance?
Yeah, proper English display. That's what's been since the France game that's what we wanted to put on, and we definitely did that. We give 100%, we worked hard, we had each other's backs, and yeah, we nullified their threats, and I think we were dominant throughout the game, so it's one that we can definitely be proud of, and hopefully the fans are too.
And Georgia mentioned the France game as a bad night out. If that was a bad night out, is this a good night out? You don't lose anyone, no one falls out, and no hangover the next day?
Oh yeah, that's a proper good night out. I'm not sure about having no hangover though. If it's a good night out, you should have one. But yeah, it was a proper good display. We really enjoyed it as well. And best out of players when you're enjoying the game, and yeah, it was good. And we can definitely take a lot of confidence and positives from it into the Wales game.
And in terms of France, I know you never want to lose games, but in a way, did that sharpen the focus a little bit, sharpen your minds within camp, just to think, right, actually we need to book our ideas up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think you never want to lose games, but games that you lose, you learn the most from, and we definitely learned a lot from it. The pressure of maybe going home was on our shoulders today, and it's definitely not what we wanted. So we put on a dominant display today. We're in the right mindset, and yeah, we've turned up.
And in terms of, you mentioned that pressure, but is it, that performance just shows that you girls thrive under that type of pressure?
Yeah, we definitely thrive under that pressure. We wanted to put on a dominant display, we definitely did that. Like I said, we nullified their threats, and their key players didn't really have any chances in the game. So yeah, we're really proud of ourselves, and yeah, we need to definitely take a lot from this game going into the rest of the tournament.
And lastly, let's big you up, let's talk about you, the goal. How proud are you, one of yourself actually, to come on against France, to put in a performance to then mean that Sarina Wiegman puts you in the starting lineup and you top it off with a goal?
Yeah, it's always nice to have that belief from the manager. I knew my role against France was to come on and try and change the game, and I think that I helped do that. And then today, to get the call to start in the number 10 role was massive. And from me, I just wanted to go out there and enjoy it, work hard for the team, and I did that. And it's always nice to get on the score sheet as well. I mean, I think I could have had 2, but I'll let LJ have it instead.
Ella, thank you for that, and good luck against Wales.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was England goalscorer Ella Toone speaking with talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk following the Lionesses 4-0 win against the Netherlands. And you can have your say on that. 03 717 22 33 we heard Ella Toone there, and there's something I want to talk to you about in a bit, which is not about Ella Toone. It's about Hannah Hampton's pass. We'll go back to that. But what did you make of her performance tonight, Ella Toone? She spoke about coming on against France, trying to impact the game, change the game. Did you think she was good this evening?
Yeah, I think she was really good. She's had a tough season, obviously losing her dad this year. So I think for a player like her to come on and perform and have that mentality like she just spoke about, it's a lot of pressure on your shoulders to try and earn your shirt and keep it. And I think tonight she kept it. All
right, so that was the attitude, the pass. Hannah Hampton. I mean, we were having a conversation about the role of a goalkeeper nowadays. And that pass, I think it was for the second goal, was it? That pass, you talk about 60 metres, just below the knee, fizzed across the grass. What a pass that was.
Yeah, she's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if I'm honest. I obviously played with her at Villa, and it's so key that you have a goalkeeper now that can clip balls to the full-back, or, not many can drill that ball that she just did to Alessia Russo. I mean, honestly, like on a plate, creating chances from in goal. It's unheard of, actually, in the women's game.
If you haven't seen it, you have to look at the second goal. Hannah Hampton gets the ball, and not only does she fire a pass, take the easy option, she fires it past halfway line, and not only does she hit her feet, she hits the space, and then Alessia Russo does the rest, goes through, and it's 2-0 to England. But, I mean, it was tough because Mary Earps has been such a good goalkeeper for England for so long. I mean, I think BBC Sports Personality of the Year. She's been so key to what England have done going forward. But do you think it was the right time and the right decision for Hannah Hampton to get her opportunity?
I think it's a really tough one, because if Mary Earps was in goal today, she'd still be amazing, shot stopping and leadership. But I think the reason why Hannah Hampton has stole that shirt is from her passing ability, and I just think it's something that England haven't got. It's an extra person playing the ball higher up the pitch, and it's tough to get that.
Absolutely fantastic performance. All right, well, listen, we still want to hear from you guys. 03717 22 33 What did you make of the Lionesses' performance? Absolutely superb. A lot better than the France game. 4-0 win against the Netherlands. Get your calls in now. You're listening to the full-time phone here on talkSPORT with myself, Darren Bent, and the former England midfielder Jordan Nobbs. We're taking your calls after the Lionesses absolutely hammered the Netherlands live here on talkSPORT to get to the Euros campaign back on track. Here's the number 03717 22 33 44. Now we're at the business end of Wimbledon, so let's head over there now and get an update from talkSPORT's Lisa O'Sullivan.
I thought I was going to bring you news of Novak Djokovic booking his place in the semi-finals. He had match point. It's just been saved by Flavio Cobolli. 5-4 in this fourth set. Novak Djokovic was 40-30, has just slipped and dramatically thrown himself face down on the grass. You can hear how much the centre court crowd are loving this. So we are still a couple of points away, but it's been a sensational tight match. The winner will go through to play Yannick Sinner, who beat the USA's Ben Shelton 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. He needed 3 match points. No sign of an elbow issue, but the question is now, how injured is Novak Djokovic?
Well, great stuff there, Lisa. We'll check back and release in a little bit once Novak, which I expect him to do to wrap it up. Right, now it's time to look at the latest football action with Ladbrokes.
The big preview on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleware.org.
And of course, following us from 8 p.m, you can hear the live commentary of Real Madrid against PSG in the Club World Cup semi-finals right here live on talkSPORT. So let's take a look ahead now to that game with your commentators Nigel Adderley and the former Premier League striker Dean Ashton. How are we doing, gentlemen?
All good, thanks. Very good.
I mean, you must be excited. I'll start with you first, Dean. I mean, this could be a Champions League final. I mean, 2 top teams. PSG now have got that winning mentality. How much are you looking forward to this game?
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, it's one that I think everyone wants to see, and we're hoping that they would line up against each other at this stage of the competition. It feels like a final because of the quality of the two sides and their squads. And obviously, I'm delighted that Dembele and Mbappe start their first games of the tournament and what they can bring and add to both of their sides that have already packed full of quality. I just think maybe Real Madrid have got a few more questions to answer in terms of the formation, obviously the new manager, what happens to Gonzalo Garcia, who's been excellent without Mbappe in the side, and how that kind of looks at the start of this game against what we just know of PSG, which is that formation that they're going to stick to, the players that we're very used to seeing.
And also as well, Dean, when you look at PSG, I mean, they were Champions League. I think from when they beat Liverpool, they looked like head and shoulders the best team in the tournament. They were absolutely incredible. Who have you been more impressive then in this Club World Cup, Real Madrid or PSG?
Oh, definitely PSG. I think obviously Real Madrid are trying to tweak a few things. A new system for Xabi Alonso coming in as manager and looking to play the same way that he did with Bayer Leverkusen. That might change tonight because of a couple of suspensions and Mbappe coming into the side. But PSG, the difference we've seen, I think since Christmas, I think Kvaratskhelia coming into the side has really added something special as well. And obviously going on and winning the Champions League, they just now look a side that expect to beat everything in front of them. And it's out of possession, Benny, that I've been so impressed with. They had passengers before, world-class passengers, as you've got to call them in the likes of Messi and Neymar and Mbappe. But this looks a proper team. This looks a proper outfit that actually out of possession are going to make it very difficult for the best teams in the world.
Absolutely. And Nigel, I've got to ask you then, because we know who they're going to meet in the final, which is, of course, Chelsea. Obviously, in recent times, double Champions League winners. Do you give them much of a chance against any of these sides in the final?
Well, I don't think we've seen the best Chelsea yet, because I don't think they've really been tested. I thought they were very good in the game against Palmeiras. Last night was very comfortable, and that's credit to Chelsea, because they really took hold of the game early on, and João Pedro came into the side and scored 2 absolutely outstanding goals. So if he can replicate that, they could be a match for anyone. But I think it will be a very good yardstick for Enzo Maresca to maybe see where Chelsea are looking ahead to the Premier League season by playing one of these two sides, 2 of the top sides in Europe, in this final on Sunday. So at the moment, I think Chelsea are the underdogs, whoever they play. But we've often seen Chelsea having that tournament DNA for many, many years, particularly during the Abramovich era. And when they get to finals, things often happen.
And Dean, I've got to ask you, because, listen, you've been in this scenario. You're a fellow centre-forward. You've seen Delap go there. We've seen João Pedro go to Chelsea now. And we saw an incident yesterday where Nicholas Jackson came on, should have squared it to Cole Palmer, but went for glory. Do you think that's the case of him now having to over-impress because of the competition that he's got now?
Probably, yes. I think it's what you fear, isn't it, as a striker, Benty, is those players coming in and that competition, and a manager maybe fancying a player over you that comes in. Delap, I'm sure already is thinking, crikey, I've only just come in, and João Pedro comes in and scores the goals. It's difficult, but that's what happens at a top-level football club. You're expected to compete properly for your position. I actually thought that the squaring to Palmer wasn't really on, Bentley, and maybe that's our mindset, is that we think about scoring. It wasn't like there was not a defender in the
Palmer
place.
thought it was on.
I know it was, of course he did, but I don't think it was just as simple as playing it across and he was there totally free. And I think, yeah, Jackson is going to try and over-impress. I think that's clear, and you will feel that pressure as a forward when you've got new players that are coming in and trying to take your place.
Do you know what it is, though, Dino, as well, and Nige, is that I didn't have a problem with him going for goal because Palmer was there, and as you said, it wasn't a simple pass across. I think it's where he tried to put the ball. It was almost a little bit of a selfish finish.
Yes, it absolutely was, but I'm not passing it, and I'd be amazed if you did. So I think we just think differently, probably to other players in the side. If he scores, there's no issue. I think actually it's more an indictment on Palmer and maybe where his mentality's at the moment, with just how annoyed he got with that. I don't think that was a good look actually from Palmer in terms of maybe some of his frustrations.
No, I think I agree with you there, because I think Cole Palmer, I don't think he's been good, but I don't think he's as good, Nige, as we've seen him. I mean, when he first got to Chelsea, that first season, I mean, he was unstoppable. Last season, he was good at the start, slowed down a bit. What have you made of him then, Nige, in this Club World Cup, Cole Palmer?
Well, I thought it was a brilliant goal he scored against Palmeiras in the quarter-final. That was the sort of Cole Palmer we've seen over the first 1.5 seasons at Chelsea, but it's one goal in 16 Premier League games, and when you look at the standards he was setting until maybe Christmas of last year, that's a massive drop-off in form. And I think he's done bits during this Club World Cup so far. I don't think he's been particularly outstanding, but I think it's a situation where he's trying to find his form, and the way he plays every single minute, because Chelsea are very keen for him to find his form as well. So yeah, that's always going to be a difficult situation, but we've got a situation in the crowd at the moment here as well, Darren. PSG were doing their shooting practice and someone hammered it just over the bar and has taken out one of the spectators in the front row. So someone's had a difficult start to the afternoon, whatever happens on the field.
Yeah, well, gentlemen, enjoy the game, and I hope it goes well.
Cheers.
Thanks. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+, begambleaware.org.
The big preview on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
I mean, that's going to be some game. PSG versus Real Madrid. I mean, that is, when you talk about heavyweight, I say that, but Real Madrid, of course, biggest club in the world. I've won it so many times. We'll continue this conversation. But, right, let's get some more reaction now from the England camp, because talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk has got the England manager, Sarina Wiegman.
I am with the Lionesses manager, Sarina Wiegman. Sarina, the probably smile I've seen around the flash zone on your face says it all. Superb performance. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the performance, and especially because it shows what the team is about. Bounce back from France, very hard game, and a loss, and then you have to win this game to stay in the competition, and we have not been in this situation before. So we reviewed France. Each plays had conversations with each other. We had conversations with the team, and you could tell in training that they really came together and tried to and wanted to do really a lot better than France. But then still, you need to show that on the pitch, and that's exactly what the team did. Exploit spaces, harmed the Netherlands where we could harm them, but also the high press, what we did really well. And even if the long ball would come, then we defended that really well too. So yeah, this was. That's what the players said, the proper England
Performance. The energy as well was really high. For me, a mark different from France. Is that something that you discussed as a team?
No. As a team, of course, the game plan, how do we execute the game? So you can talk about tactics, but also that during the game when we had hard times, players were working really hard, but we were not doing it together again. And then you really need to get help or ask help, or you need to come together to make it better. And that's where we struggled with in the France game. And you saw today, so they wanted to bring that energy. And when you do get together and things work, of course, then it's easier too.
And it certainly worked. And I think managers always obviously get a lot of stick, but obviously only one change, but you've changed, positionally a lot of the players. So how pleased are you from a personal perspective that has worked?
Yeah, of course, very, very pleased, and I think that showed off. And of course, you do that together with the staff. We have so many conversations, and before every game, we think what's the best for the team. How can you put players in their super strengths, and what do we think are the best 11 to start as a team? And today that worked.
And in terms of Lauren James at a change of position, also Alex Greenwood and Jess Carter, just wonder what the thought process was behind that.
Yeah, well, Netherlands with a lot of speed in the centre, but sometimes also on the side. And we thought we could get more balance in the defensive line with swapping them. And then, of course, the Netherlands started with a lot of pace. Well, Miedema has a lot of pace too, but with pace on the side too. But I think tactically, the whole defensive line and of course Alex on the left side did that really well.
And lastly, Ella Toone, that was the change that you brought in. Obviously played really well. She scored. But from whether it be in training or against France that you had to put her in from the start today?
Yeah, she was just she's in a good place, and she always brings depth in the game. And we had some conversation, basically last 6 weeks, and she really took that on board. And I thought we needed her in the team with her runs in behind and those connections. And yes, that paid off, and very well done from her.
Sarina, thank you and good luck against Wales.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Yeah, that was talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk with the England manager Sarina Wiegman, and she said something really interesting, I thought, there, Jordan, when she spoke about the pace of the Netherlands, because I think the first game against France, they didn't deal with their pace at all, and that's what caused them problems. But clearly he's identified that as a problem. She's identified that as a problem and said, you know what, things need to change. She made 1 or 2 tweaks, and I think it worked this evening.
Yeah, they were a proper team tonight. I think we spoke about, obviously, Jess Carter having a tough time, and she was really isolated as well when defending, whereas maybe that little interchange, Jess is very comfortable at centre-half, Alex played a lot at left-back, and that she was just really aggressive, not allowing a player to turn and run at you. But I think the key part was that we were a team, we were a collective, so, it was doubling up and getting behind the ball from our wingers.
But you know what? It was definitely one of those, and I'll speak to you about it after the break, but I think it was quite good management from Sarina, but not taking Jess Carter out, because she did have a tough time against France, but putting her as a centre half, as you said there, certainly give her more bodies around her, and she certainly operated really, really well against the Netherlands tonight. So we'll talk about that. And listen, we still want to hear from you guys. 03717 22 33 44. This is the full-time phone-in on talkSPORT. You listen to the kickoff here. Kickoff? I don't think that's it. You listen to the full-time phone here on talkSPORT with myself, Darren Bent, and the former England midfielder Jordan Nobbs and Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org. Jordan, listen, we saw a fantastic performance. We've been speaking about it all evening, about the Lionesses. Will they be watching the game tonight just to see, because you'd expect France to beat Wales, of course, and this is no disrespect to Wales, but France, we saw how good they were against England in that opening game. Do you think England will be looking where the cracks are against Wales, where they can really exploit and really hurt Wales?
Yeah, I think they'll know a lot about Wales already. I think they put in a good first half performance against the Netherlands, like a deep block. So I think that'll be, can England not get frustrated by maybe a team banking up and not being able to get out of their own half?
Absolutely. All right, well, there's a reminder that from 8 p.m. we can bring you live commentary of Real Madrid against PSG in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. And let's head over now to the MetLife Stadium now, where you can hear former Premier League striker Troy Deeney is soaking up the pre-match atmosphere. Troy, how you doing?
What's happening, Betty? How you doing, mate? You good?
I don't think I didn't see that video earlier either, but we'll talk about that at a later date. Don't think I didn't see that. But we'll talk about that.
I just wanted to make sure everyone knew who you was out here. That's all, mate.
and that's the clue you gave them, the Harry Redknapp thing.
Sorry, how you doing? It's good to see you presented as well, mate. Well done.
No worries. But listen, this game tonight, obviously, you're going to be soaking up the atmosphere. I mean, this feels like it could be a Champions League final. I mean, Real Madrid taking on PSG. What a game this is going to be.
Yeah, Betty, just to add to that, like, we were here yesterday, a couple of hours before the game, and it was kind of dead, if I'm being totally honest with you. It's like 40 minutes before the game, it got lively. Here, we've been here an hour now, and you can't stop seeing waves of people. Traffic getting in was crazy. It's just, literally behind me now, there's probably 5,000 fans still trying to rush to get in. And they're sprinting. It's 10 minutes before kickoff. So it is mental, mate, but it feels like a proper game, as you say.
Well, we know PSG, of course, Champions League winners, been absolutely outstanding in this tournament. It almost feels like it should be a foregone conclusion, but you can never, ever write off Real Madrid.
Yeah, but we were just talking about it in the car, mate. I'm going to ask you this question. Who's it a bigger game for?
I think it's a bigger game for Real Madrid and Xabi Alonso. And the reason why I think it's that, because Luis Enrique has already reached the promised land. He's won the Champions League, which is what PSG set out to do from years ago when they had the superstars Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, of course. It didn't work for them. He's finally got that over the line. But for Xabi Alonso going to a club that's got rich European history, I think the game's massive for him.
I actually think it's the other way around. I think this is a case now for PSG to lay their foundations down for the next 10 years. Because I don't see a crack in this team, mate. When I look at PSG, from goalkeeper right the way through the team, it's excellent. There's no little fault there. When you look at Real Madrid, I'm still thinking, right, what's the formation? How can they deal with it in midfield? Who's their best three? I just think it's a massive game for PSG to go and stamp their authority on and really say to everyone, for the next decade, we are the team to beat.
Yeah, it's a good point. But listen, Troy, stay there for a minute, because obviously we know at 8 o'clock this evening, Real Madrid are due to take on PSG live on talkSPORT. And Nigel Adderley is your commentator for the game, and that's important information for us. Nigel?
Yeah, the kickoff has been delayed, Darren. We heard Troy there talking about the traffic problems outside the stadium. Both team buses arrived from Manhattan late for the warm-up. So as a result, FIFA have decided to delay the kickoff, and the match will start at 8:10.
Well, important information there. I mean, Troy, unfortunately for you, at least you're outside the stadium. Kickoff delayed by, I know it's only 10 minutes, but you just said it there. 5,000 fans trying to rush in, and it's 10 minutes. It was allegedly supposed to be 10 minutes till kickoff. I mean, the atmosphere, as you just spoke about, must be absolutely electric if the game's going to be delayed.
Yeah, mate, it is mental. It is actually giving you that feeling, as you said earlier, like a Champions League final. But this is a taste of what to expect if you're coming to the World Cup. The traffic situation isn't great. You need to leave loads of time to get here. And fundamentally, we spoke to a few people yesterday, Benty. The difference in ticketing from yesterday to today is $370.
Wow. What, did you pay to get yours?
Nah, freebies, mate. You know the score. I'm actually fuming. I've got to pay for my own food today.
Listen, we know what awaits them in the final, and that's Chelsea.
Yeah.
And of course, if Real Madrid get through, if PSG get through, I think a lot of people would make one of those the favourites over Chelsea. But we've seen Chelsea in previous finals, Champions League finals, Europa League finals. They find a way to get it done. Do you think that they've got a chance of beating PSG or Real Madrid once one of these two get to the final?
I fancy their chances more against Real Madrid. I'm not so sure against PSG. Yesterday against Fluminense, they were good and they controlled it. There were still pockets of space that Fluminense got into, especially in that 10 when you play off the side of Caicedo. Caicedo's excellent for Chelsea, but if you could go down the opposite side of him, you get at that back line. And I'm still worried. I said it yesterday. I wonder what you think now you've seen it. That right-back position is still an area of concern for me, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't really trust Gusto, if I'm honest. I like Reece James, and I think if he can stay fit, I think that's a positive for them. But defensively and goalkeeper, I just think they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, 100%. And with this, we're going to ask some fans this in a minute, and I'm going to ask you this. Who has got the best front three out of PSG and Real Madrid, in your opinion? I'll throw that to both of you guys.
Go on, Jordan, I'll let you go first.
I mean, I'd say Real Madrid on stats and paper, but I think the new manager has just brought a new life into PSG. I mean, making Dembele press the ball. You know what I mean? He's not just showing his quality on the ball. He's doing it like physically. He wants that team, and I think that's key to actually a good front three.
Do you know what, Troy? I'm going PSG, and the reason why I say that is because of how fluid they are. Because Dembele can play right, left, centre. You've got Bradley Barcola, you've got Doué, you've got Kvaratskhelia. I think if you wanted a more complete front three, I think PSG's better.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just think that front three is amazing, and no matter who they play, what they play, they're going to cause you trouble. They could come short with Dembele, as you say, leave that space in behind, and then they'll just do you with the pace. I just think that back line of Chelsea's, while it's been very solid, I think they're going to have a completely different test if they come up against PSG. Fancy them against Real Madrid, not so sure against PSG.
Absolutely. Troy, enjoy the game, mate.
Cheers, mate. We'll do. Sushi's on the way.
Top man there, former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. Right now, time is to take a look ahead to tonight's action with McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? The new Big Arch is here. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
And over on talkSPORT 2 from 8 p.m. you can hear another crucial game as Wales take on France in the Women's Euros. And Emily Herbert will be keeping us up to date here on talkSPORT. She joins us now to look ahead to that game. Emily, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. I mean, I'm really intrigued about this game, although I think I know what's going to happen because we saw how good France were against England and how poor Wales were against the Netherlands. What are you expecting, and do you think Wales will make it a little bit tougher for France this evening?
I'd like to hope so. I mean, Wales come out tonight with nothing to lose, really. They've got to put everything out on the pitch. You know, they've got 0 points in the group so far, having lost to the Netherlands 3-0 last time out. But, you know, this is their first major tournament. You know, they've got to show the world what they're really about, and they've made 4 changes today, including actually quite a big one in goal. So Middleton Patel comes in for just her 5th cap, replacing Olivia Clark, and also Hayley Ladd is going to be a big miss. She's out. We understand she's been unwell, so she's joined on the sidelines with Hannah Kane and Rhiannon Roberts as well. So it means that Roe Barton and Morgan come into the sides. So, you know, you'd like to hope that Rhiannon Wilkinson has, you know, put a bit of belief back into this squad after a disappointing result to the Netherlands last time out.
I know they obviously put in such a big shift against the Netherlands, and I was a bit worried about, you know, the physicality now facing France, but you would just love to see Wales get a goal, wouldn't you, I think, tonight? I think you want to see that red wall just celebrate for them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people out there have said that Wales have got one of the best fan bases support-wise out there. They've been so loud in all of the stadiums and around Switzerland, and they'd go absolutely mental, wouldn't they? A first goal in a major tournament, and they deserve it, really. You know, how they got here, how they beat Ireland to get to their first major tournament, and the pride that you can see on these players' faces as they sing the national anthem is extraordinary, and yeah, it would go off.
Emily, how are Wales going to stop France? Because, again, we go back to that first game in the groups, and France against England, they were absolutely unstoppable. Too much pace, too much power, and we saw Wales against the Netherlands put up a little bit of a... It's a bit unfair to say mediocre performance, but it wasn't one of their best.
Yeah.
How are Wales going to stop France this evening?
Well, it's a tough task. I'll tell you that. We obviously saw how France did against England. They're a very physical side, France, and they've got a lot of quality and a lot of experience in their squads. I mean, Wales... I did see the game against the Netherlands, and Kerry Holland I thought was superb in that game. You know, she was run ragged down the wings, and she put in a lot of crosses, and she got a lot of cramp towards the end of the game. But I think maybe wing play for Wales is where they could try, but it's going to be so tough. France are such a good team.
Do you think France's mentality might change after seeing England beat the Netherlands 4-0, you know, in terms of they need to obviously just want to keep that goal score and tally up?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think no disrespect to Wales, but it's going to be an easier task for France tonight. England obviously didn't play their best, but they're still, you know, a better side than Wales. They're the defending champions. I mean, it's all going to fall for this group on the last day of the group, because, you know, France play the Netherlands. That's a huge tie, and it will ultimately decide who goes through and who is knocked out. But Wales, they're not mathematically out tonight if they lose, but it would leave their hopes, you know, hanging by a thread and out of their hands too.
I know Wales are not out, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful by kind of preempting what's going to happen, but if they were to go out, how do you think they'll look back at their campaign in this Euros?
I think with pride. You know, they did lose 3-0 to the Netherlands, but they put up a big fight in that. And actually, just to qualify for a major tournament, it's so difficult. And it's their first one. And like I said before, the way they did it against Ireland, it was a superb game and a superb goal that got them here. And you can see the pride and how much it means to not just the team, but the Welsh fan base out here too. So I think, you know, they'll be proud of themselves.
Yeah, I think so too. Emily, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Emily Herbert there. She'll be keeping us up to date as Wales take on France in the Euro 2025 group stages. All right, well, let's get some more reaction now from the England camp, as talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk has got the England defender, Jess Carter.
Fantastic performance. That's more like it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously after the France game we were also disappointed, not even just the result but in the performance, and the focus today was be together as a team. Whatever happens on the pitch, we stick together as a team, and I think that's what